Okay, we are going to get started. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name's Emily Horn. I know I see some familiar and unfamiliar faces. I'm so excited to have such a great group today. And my job here at C.A.R. is to head up our local association services and membership team. And you'll meet some of those team members today. And I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what this series is. And you are at the first session of our new series. It is Association Management 101 that we call AM 101. It sounds like a radio station, but it's really education for you. And it's geared towards our new AEs and local association staff. And that's for a few reasons. When we did some research 2 years ago, we realized that almost 40% of our AEs have only been in their roles for 3 years or less. So there's been a lot of turnover in the AE role that really has, I think, warranted some additional education and support for them in their roles and as they in the realtor association management field. So this accomplishes that. And it's also for the local association staff. I know a lot of AEs told us last year, we'd really love, now that we have this virtual option of Zoom, to provide more education and more support for our local association staff and their professional development. So we're really excited to get to open it up. I hope that this also serves as an opportunity for you to meet new people. Hopefully in future sessions, we can have time for you to have smaller breakout sessions to actually get to know some of your counterparts maybe throughout the state and really network with one another and learn from not only the speakers, but each other. So with that, I want to introduce someone instrumental in getting this program off the ground. And that is our new consultant. She's not new to us, to any of us or the industry, but she's new to C.A.R. And we're so excited to have her on board. It's Peggy Mead. And Peggy is a former AE of the Sierra North Valley Association. Sierra North Valley Realtors. Did I say that right, Peggy? Okay, good. Andrew, I think you're on here too. And Peggy is an AE with 16 years experience and so much wisdom. She is an amazing coach, I would say. She has done it all. And if you have a problem, I know she's had it in the past and has dealt with it. And she's gonna be able to be there for you as a new AE and also just help with this association management education. So with that, I'm going to give you our leader, Peggy Mead.
Thank you, Emily, for that lovely introduction. Now I'm kind of so embarrassed that I'm not sure I can actually speak. I'll find a way though. So a couple of housekeeping items, please. If you wouldn't mind, please mute your microphone unless you're called upon. We're going to be doing questions throughout the presentation in the chat. And at the end, we'll do questions by raising your hand in the participants window. Also, just wanted to let all of you know that we're going to be recording this session, and there will be a YouTube channel specifically for all of our AM 101s where you can go back and look at the archived ones, and this will be our first one in there. So for our first training in AM 101, Adina will be showing us how to navigate the C.A.R. website, which is car.org. And as many of you know, the search function in it is a little bit difficult. And so Adina will be showing us how to get to things on a more intuitive level. There's so much on there that can help you in running your association. And also at a time when we have a difficulty with member engagement, there's going to be some great information that you can push out to your members as well. So Adina, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to AM 101, and thank you for having me, Peggy. For those of you who don't really know who I am, my name is Adina Schofield, and I am the Local Association Services Coordinator. So I am Emily's right-hand girl. Anything you need, feel free to reach out. I also work with the Disaster Relief Fund applications and handle honorary members. So any questions you have for that, you can reach out to me as well. To get started, let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, perfect. Perfect, there we go. Can everyone see my screen okay? All right, wonderful. So this is our beloved C.A.R.org. Really what I'm hoping to do today is provide you really with the means to navigate, most of it really for your members, but also just the search feature doesn't always actually bring up the information, the correct information. So it's just easier if you know how to get there directly. So we're just going to kind of go over that today. A few things I want to point out on this first homepage. You have your main toolbar up here, okay? This right here is obviously lets you know that you are signed in, and this is going to be your account hub, all right? I also just want to point out this is where you are going to utilize your search feature for anything COVID related. Although we have a separate microsite, we do have all of our updates and all of our links easily accessible here as well. These links will take you directly to that COVID microsite, okay? Another thing that I do want to point out, the realtor secure transaction. This is how your members are going to utilize Glide, Zip Form, anything to do with their transaction, including all of our other transaction tools, is easily accessible here, okay? A few other things that I'd love to point out on the homepage for you guys. So down here is our latest news. These are going to be really anything pertinent to your members and you. A lot of this is actually included in your your AE recap emails. Okay, I think we're pretty good at including all of this information. However, if you click on the read mores, this will take you to our actual press releases. So this is handy, again, for you to send to your members if you need them, and it at least has the information there for you. All right, I think my favorite thing, and Peggy can probably add to that, something that you guys may not know. You are able to add shortcuts to your, I guess, profile, okay? Treat this homepage as if you're signed in as, you know, it's your page. So you can add any articles and any pages within C.A.R. to your shortcuts to easily access them later. Okay, so in a few minutes, I will actually show you guys how to do that. And hopefully, if you're following along, you can add the AE resource page to your shortcuts. Okay. The last thing that I do want to point out, if you scroll down to the bottom, if for some reason you still are having a hard time finding anything, I wanted to point out this area to you because really it gives you each pertinent, I would say, topic in each of the major categories that you're looking for. Okay, so if for some reason you're still having trouble finding anything, this is kind of going to be your next go-to, just an FYI. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move on. All right. So I just actually want to go through this really quickly for you guys. This is your account hub, essentially. Hopefully you have been through this and kind of already know what's in here, but just in case, I wanted to point a few things out to you. If you ever need to change your username or password, or manage your account settings, you're going to do it here. Okay. You can also access your shortcuts here as well. Just another way to do that. Obviously, any help that you need, you can access that here as well. Now, obviously, you're not going to have this staff section, but all AEs and association staff should be able to access all of these here. Okay. The one thing that is actually not labeled is the pack balances. Sorry, you guys, I think I'm having some technical issues. Your pack balance will be listed under your local association. So this is a way for you guys to access your pack balances. This is going to be your AE resource page. anything regarding membership and important information about dues billing, you get all these shortcuts here as well. Okay. The other thing I wanted to just show you really quick. So you do have a broker section and a member section. And again, it just provides some quick links for you. Your member benefits, committee selection, and then this is going to take you directly to the brokers page. Now, you may not have access to that page because I do believe it's for brokers only. However, if they're looking for resources or materials, they should easily be able to access that link. Okay. And I think at this time, does anybody have any questions so far about anything I've gone over?
There's nothing in the chat at this time.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. All right. So I actually do want to do one thing for you guys really quick. So earlier I introduced my shortcuts. And if you're following along, I actually want to quickly show you how to go ahead and do that. One other thing for new AEs, if you're not signed in, this is where you are going to do it, by the way. So hopefully all of you have already gone through the process and signed in, but just in case, this is where you would do so, all right? All right, perfect. So this is our AE page. If you are association staff, I do not believe that you will have access to this page. If you do, I think you would have access to our membership page only. But this is more or less just to give you an example of how to create a shortcut, okay? So whatever page you're on, you're literally, I want to point these 3 items out for you. You're going to click Save, Add Now, and then if I go back to my shortcuts, you'll see that I have it here, okay? And then when I go back to my home page, you'll be able to see it right here. So it just provides you an additional means of bookmarking any important pages that you guys want to keep and have easy access to, okay? One other item really quickly before we move on. Just want to make sure that everyone is aware of where all the rosters and directories are on the AE page, including the association executive planner. So I just want to make sure that everyone's aware. We are going to be doing some major upgrades to the website in the next coming weeks. So if there are a few things that aren't completely updated at this point, just give us a little bit of time. We're working on kind of giving this page an overhaul, okay? Thank you for the patience and understanding. All right. Perfect. So what I want to do now is actually go through the 4 major sections of our website, okay? We're going to start off with the Transaction Center, which really to me is the best way to explain it is anything regarding realtor business, okay? So really this is going to be very member focused, but I think this will help you guys, I guess, show them where to go if they have any questions regarding any of this. This first section, transactions, as you can see here, again, this is another way to get to your realtor secure transaction. Again, you are going to find zip form, anything regarding Glide, and all of the remaining transaction tools that we offer to members. Okay. Business tools is literally that. 2 things that I want to point out on this page is how you access the C.A.R. business products. Again, these are for your realtor members, and the down payment resource directory. This is huge, and I really actually want to make sure that you guys are aware that it's something that we even have. our Transaction Rescue Center. This is something that will enable you to, well, at least your members, to search any down payment resources available in the state, whether it's local, by county, if there's anything that we offer, but there's over 400 available programs throughout California, and that'll help them kind of find anything that meets their client's qualifications. So this is something we offer, but I just wanted to have you guys make sure that you knew where it was. All right, so moving on to risk management. So this area, think of it, I guess, as your member legal section, okay? This is where we have Gov, and, you know, he comes to talk with us about anything COVID related. A lot of our legal Q&As and updates are provided by our member legal department. This is going to be your go-to. The COVID legal documents are where you're going to find most of the updated forms, and anything else COVID related. So this would be a great page to go ahead and bookmark or provide in your shortcuts, okay? Another thing that I wanted to point out to you guys that we utilize a lot is our quick guides. So these are one-page articles that legal creates, and although we do provide many of these in our recap emails, it is very useful for your members. You know, Peggy talks a lot about the need for member engagement, you know, from your staff and from you guys. So this is a great way to help them learn information very quickly. Also, the legal live webinars, that is something that we also keep posted on our AE planner. Upcoming, I believe they're, yes, once a month. They're the first Tuesday of every month. What's great about this is you can access past recorded webinars. So if you miss anything, you weren't able to attend, you can access them all here, okay? Right. Do we have any questions, I guess, so far on this section?
We're still good.
Awesome. Perfect. So the last area of Transaction Center is going to be your helplines. Obviously, this is going to be helpful for you and your members, but I just wanted to point this out because it kind of puts them all in one area. Again, your transaction rescue. This is pretty much managed by Mark Farkle, our amazing transaction rescue consultant. He handles the finance helpline and does the STEPS program. And so anything you need, you can access the information here and contact him. Our legal hotline, this will provide more information for you here as well. And then obviously our mediation. So I just wanted to make sure you guys were aware that they are all here for you. All right, perfect. So we are going to move on if that works for you guys. So Industry 360, what does that mean? I think we're still trying to figure that out. What Peggy and I kind of decided is that it is, I guess, anything that a realtor may need, right? It's anything industry related for realtors. This is actually probably the most important section, I feel like. Did I miss Learn and Thrive, Peggy? I did, didn't I? I'm getting ahead of myself, I think. That's okay. We're going to get back to that, you guys. But this first one is the most important. It's your market data. This is the market research area. What I do want to point out, especially for you guys, is this area right here. It's the shareable and interactive reports. One thing that our market research department has done recently, before you could only get your data by county. Over the past few months, they have worked tirelessly to present data based by city as well. And if you go to the buyer's guide, you will be able to download based on city, county, or state, okay? And it's going to give you all the data for your area. It provides you PDF formats, Instagram, Facebook. You can download PowerPoints, and all of it's easily and readily available for you. And I think that would be great for your members. Many of them still don't even know this is available, but I just want you all to be aware of this area here. Okay, perfect. So next, we're going to move on to the MLS and professional standards. I'm sure most of you are aware of this section. Again, just want to highlight a few places. Again, most of you probably know where all of this is where you're going to find your model MLS rules. You have your NAR code of ethics, okay? All right. Sorry, you guys, my computer's freezing a little. You can access your professional standards materials here, okay? And one other section I wanted to point out to you that's extremely important is right here. It's the resources for hearings via Zoom. We, especially when we started virtually, we had a lot of questions on, well, how are we supposed to, you know, put these hearings on virtually? You know, what are the legal ramifications? How can we do it to make sure that, you know, we're following the procedures and guidelines? So they have produced all of the necessary tools that you guys will need, tips and other sources of information can be found here for you. Okay. So next, we're going to access political advocacy. And this is pretty straightforward. I do just want to highlight this area here. So this is where you're going to access the different information based on the PACs. Most importantly, the Realtor Action Fund. They actually have an entire website dedicated to the fund. You can view your current percentages. You can download forms. You can, I believe, you know, view members' actual levels and where they are, but everything can be accessed here. If you have any questions, I believe the contact information is there as well. Okay, so this section, this legal section is, and please don't get it confused with the risk management section that we went over earlier. So this really is going to be your corporate legal section. I really want to point out this area. So any recent legal developments, this is going to be new laws and really anything that affects realtors. So this would be kind of where you want to look that up. The other thing that I think I want to highlight is right here, the miscellaneous. Oh, there we go. If anyone's asking about our Californians for home ownership, you can find that here. Real Legal or any of our member legal services, which again, we offer to our members. So this is where they can access that as well. Peggy, how are we doing on any questions?
We had one from Romeo asking if local association staff can access the AE planner.
You know, I honestly will have to double check. I don't believe that they can, since the planner is on the AE page, I don't believe that they can access it. All right, perfect. All right, you guys, so I want to go back to Learn and Thrive. I'm so sorry that I skipped it. I just got so excited about this Industry 360. Okay, so we'll start off with education. This is, like, so sorry, you guys, I'm still having some issues. Okay, this is, I want to point out the course catalog. This is where you are going to find all the courses that C.A.R. has to offer for you. Okay, literally anything that you can think of, any paid courses, free courses, you can find those here. Our education calendar is new, so I want to point that out. This is going to be upcoming classes that you can actually register for. Many of these we're actually including in our AE planner as well, but if you ever need to take a look at those separately, you can do so here. And then if you need anything, the free 45-hour license renewal can easily be accessed here. I just wanted to point that out for your members. One other thing, you guys, actually with the education aspect, and maybe Peggy can actually put this in the chat. So although you can access the course catalog from this page, I highly recommend utilizing our external website for that, and that is, I believe it's store.car.org. And the reason why, thank you, Peggy, if you don't mind. And the reason why is because that will actually take you directly to the site needed to buy all of the live education classes. It's a little bit, it beats kind of going this way. It's going to take you right to the source. Although you can't actually access that site from our website, which can get a little confusing. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of that. So store.car.org will actually take you to the external website that will allow you to purchase education courses directly. And there's actually a lot more information on there for your members. All right. So let's move on to meetings and events. Hopefully you guys are all familiar with this one. Really, I want to highlight two parts of this. This is going to be where you access all of your C.A.R. materials. And one thing actually that may not be as familiar. So I think this part is familiar to you all. Again, you're going to access all your business meeting materials here for every business meeting, whether winter, fall, spring. You have your program of events. Everything will be highlighted here. But I do want to point out just the remaining page because I think it gets missed a lot. Your committee appointments can be found here. All of your current candidate application forms can be found here for your Director for Life, the state allocated NAR director applications. Okay. And the reason why I'm doing this is because we get a lot of questions, and really anything governance related, try to check here first because most likely you'll find it. Okay. Including any leadership resources. Okay. And you guys actually have your own section here. And association staff, if you are wondering, obviously you can access any of these pages that I have gone over, I believe thus far, except for the AE planning page. Okay, so everything that we're going over right now is on our C.A.R. website and should be open to everybody. Okay, so this is where you're going to find upcoming deadlines, your director allocation, and how to update your roster for the state directors. So I just want to make sure you're all aware if you need any officers or leadership to come speak at an event, you can also access that information here. Okay. And I did have a recent question for informing us of any recent passings. If you do click here, you'll not only see a list, but it'll provide you with the information needed to send us that information as well. Okay. All right, and since we're on here, I would just like to point out two things if that works. All right. So this is going to be your business meeting materials page. Again, hopefully all of you are aware of this. I just want to point out that our two committees are up and running. You click on this, it'll give you all the information needed. Again, for your presidents. If it is not highlighted, just be aware that there may not be additional information. Okay, and you are able to access the meeting dates or committee meetings, excuse me, in date order. I just want you all to be aware of that as well. Okay.
Adina, I have a few questions if you're
Oh,
ready.
sure,
Oh,
go ahead.
The first one is how does an AE make sure their staff has access, and how do they add new staff?
I guess, can that be clarified? What do you mean add new staff?
So that they have access to CAR.org.
Oh, sure. They can always send me an email and I'll work with our IT department. But if you go to it, well, one, they have to have a NERDS ID. So sorry, let me backtrack. So once they have a NERDS ID, they will be able to, remember, if you go back here, when you're not signed in, it had that window to where it says new to C.A.R, sign in to register. Here. This might be easier. Let's see if we can do this. So right here. So as long as they have a NERDS ID, they can register here, and then they'll create a username and password, and then they'll have access to the C.A.R site. If anybody is having issues or they can't log in, they can go ahead and send me an email, and I'll work with our IT department to have it fixed on the back end for them.
Great, thank you. The next one is someone wants to know, after the C.A.R meetings are over, is there a place where they can find the materials and what happened at the meeting?
Yes. So I guess besides the fact that we send out an email with that information pertinent to the AEs and our committee meetings, you will be able to find them here in the archive. Okay, but I do want to go back just to kind of show you guys how to get there. My apologies. So this is that main page, okay, in the meetings and events. And when you click on this page here, all right, so I just wanted to show you guys how I got to this page, and then you're going to click archive here. All right, and then you can access, and obviously they keep a few years on there for you.
Well, can I just jump in just to mention one thing? The summary of action items is also a great way to see right after a business meeting concludes that actually is the business of that board meeting in particular. So Adina can show you that as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Perfect. Any other questions, Peggy?
Yes, actually, on this meeting section. Is there a resource where association staff can get a roster of members on C.A.R committees?
So if they need a full, well, let me show here first, and then hopefully that answers the question. If not, we can kind of take the next step from there. So this is actually going to show them. So does this kind of answer the question, or do they need a full account of every single?
From the way it's written, it appears that they want to know where for all of their members, all of their directors.
So I've been doing a little research as we go along for things that we may not know, and that was one of them. I did find out that I just put it in the chat that an email that's personalized to the regional chair and AEs are sent with all of the committees that your members are part of around the September timeframe for the following year. So if you're curious as a local association staff person, you should ask your AE, and if the AE doesn't remember or didn't get that, you could contact Evelyn Lopez in our governance department.
Thanks, Emily. And then I had one more, and this is from a seasoned AE. Where can you find the schedule at a glance? And Laura, I had that question yesterday too.
Sure. And sorry, 1 second here, you guys. And regarding that, we will actually be sending out an email to the AEs shortly, either today or tomorrow, hopefully today. Pretty much providing this information, letting you guys know it's here. Obviously, we're here, so I'm doing it now. But you'll be able to find that actually on the page. I can. This is fun. There we go. So all of our meeting materials are going to be on the actual committee page. Okay. Scroll down. Right. So you'll be able to access these materials and resources here for you. Okay. Any other questions, Peggy?
That is it for now.
Awesome. Okay. And you guys, I do apologize. I think it's going okay, but it looks like I'm freezing once in a while. So I do apologize about that. Okay. So we can move on. The other thing that I wanted to point out really quick in this section, you guys, is this area here. This is newer. Not only will you find information on Reimagine, this will be updated, obviously, as we get more information for this year. But this session archive, this is something that they started. You can access any meeting, webinar, you know, and anything that was recorded at Reimagine during the few days will be accessed here. So they're going to start doing this. And I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of this. Oh, look, there's Gov. Okay. And you can search, which makes it great. And all right. Perfect. By the way, the back button and trying to navigate using, I guess, this path here does not always work the way you think that it should. So that is why if you know which category that you're in, it just kind of helps to go back to it. I just wanted to throw that out there. Okay, so we're gonna go to marketing tools next. Again, this is really really for your members. It is any tool for them. This area specifically, it's really anything for them to help educate their consumers. actually, let me just show you really quick. And what's nice is they actually have it broken down by really categories. So if they're looking for something specific, they should be able to find it here. All right. See what I mean? All right. Back here, learn and thrive. And really, so marketing, it's pretty self-explanatory. We're actually going to go, this charts and graph area, you guys, we went over earlier. This is all of your, these are a few market research tools. You can access them here, but I do recommend actually going to the section that it was in, which is Industry 360. Let's move on to Knowledge Center. All right, perfect. So this is actually where your brokers are going to go. This is kind of their homepage. If for some reason they're not sure how to get there, I just want you all to be aware. And then any information regarding CCRE, which is our Center for California Real Estate, can be found here as well. If for some reason you are looking for any of these items, you are more than welcome to try to find them in this multimedia library. It can get a little confusing, so I don't recommend it. It's always best to go to the actual location that it's in, but you will be able to find some of those there for you as well. And that's pretty much it for that one. Peggy, do we have any questions so far before we move on? I think you're muted.
Oops, sorry. Yes, no, we don't have any other questions. You're ready to go.
Okay, perfect. So the last section, your C.A.R. All right. So this section is, well, especially this first section, make a difference. I want to point out our Housing Affordability Fund. This is really, they create grants. As a local association, by the way, you are more than welcome to apply for grants to then kind of create your own down payment assistance program for your members. So if you're interested in that, that would be something, and your members can actually join or make a donation here as well. This is also where you're going to find the C.A.R. Disaster Relief Program, including all of our applications for our Disaster Relief Fund, or our resources. For instance, when the Woolsey and oh gosh, I think Hillfire, right, Emily? I can't even remember now, but
Peggy knows. Paradise. Yeah, I'm sorry, the campfire. Well, you had it right, and the Hillfire, right?
Yeah. So what we were doing here, we were updating this with really up-to-date information. You know, where the centers were at. You know, different local resources. So if for some reason your members or your area finds yourself in that situation again, they can access information here. The other area that I wanted to point out, so we have really a new fair housing and diversity initiative department and program, and this is where you're going to be able to find that, and including our Latinx Professionals Network, by the way. But I really wanted to point this out because it's a huge point for C.A.R. this year to really get involved with this, and we're doing a lot internally and working to do a lot externally. So I just want y'all to be aware, and I believe actually, so here's Woman Up, and hopefully you've noticed a lot of the fair housing forums that have been posted on the AE Planner. And again, association staff, I'm sorry, hopefully, you know, if anything pertains to you, or if you're invited to a certain I guess, webinar or activity, or session, they're letting you know, but we are posting that information as well.
So Adina, I just got confirmation from our webmaster that he said that the local association staff should have access to our AE planner page, in addition to including GADs, any association staff, and AEs.
Okay, so I guess if any staff has any issues, just let me know and we'll try to work it out on the back end. But that's great to know. Did anyone have any questions on that section before we move on?
None in the chat, no.
Okay, perfect. So heading over to member benefits. Again, this area really for your members. And by the way, I really want to point out these guide to benefits. So any of our C.A.R. member discounts really actually also apply to you guys as well. You are a C.A.R. member, so feel free to go through those. A lot of those do apply to you, so make sure that you and your staff are aware. And we do offer insurance products, so this is where you're going to send your members, and we do have more than 100 discounted benefits, so make sure your members are aware. And we do have a new member FAQ that you can give to your members if you have questions about any of our benefits or anything like that. Okay. All right. So who is C.A.R. really? Here's where you guys can access any information on our leadership team. This is the page where you can access the AE page. Obviously, you're probably going to access it directly from your account hub. However, I just want to make sure that you guys are aware there is another way to get there. If you've learned anything today, I hope it's that. Okay. Also, in something else that I've done just in case, and again, hopefully this will be, I guess, you guys will be more open to seeing it once we actually update the website, but I added this honorary members for life link here. So we actually keep an updated roster of all approved honorary members per association. So I just want to make sure you're aware that you can access it here directly. I know it can tend to get lost on our current website right now. Again, that will be fixed, but just moving forward, if you need it, especially this week, we should be sending out emails with all eligible members that will be submitted at the upcoming business meetings. This is just a good way to keep track of who has been approved at your association. The other thing here, obviously broker recognition, realtor recognition. And I'm not sure really this applies to you guys, but if they have any questions about advertising with us, they can access that here as well. Okay. All right. So I wanted to point this out as well. Even though you can access it from our AE page, this is going to be a list of rosters and directories for C.A.R. I just want to point this out as well. Another way that you can get to the local association roster, we do offer a roster by city. It is not entirely exact, but if you need it, we actually have a map that you can access it by now. These are updated quite frequently. And then if you guys need, we do have a staff roster. However, please keep in mind, it doesn't have, it actually is just the name and title. It doesn't have any email or phone number attached to that for some reason. So if you are looking to contact anyone directly, you feel free to reach out to Emily or myself, and we can help you with that. All right. That's pretty much it. Trust me, there is a lot more, but I wanted to go over the main categories. So hopefully it kind of makes a little bit more sense how to get around. And I think we can open it up to general questions, Peggy.
So I don't have any more questions in chat, but if anybody would like to raise their hand in the participants window, we can certainly unmute you and you can ask questions. We have somebody who would like to see how to add a shortcut. Adina, could you go over that again?
Yes, absolutely. I guess, is there a certain page that they'd like to shortcut?
I think anyone will do for now.
Okay. All right, so let's shortcut the association executive planner. How's that? I feel like everyone should do this, actually. If you're following along, please do so. So once you're on the page that you would like to actually bookmark or shortcut, you are going to the save button right here, and you're literally just going to add. And I believe you can add up to 20 at a time. All right. So it looks like that went through. I'm just going to go back and make sure that it's on there. Right. And that will take me right there. So it's a really handy tool. I really hope you guys utilize it. I think it'll help you a lot, especially with, I know there's so much to remember. So
I don't see any hands raised or any questions in the chat. I do want to remind all the new AEs that I'll be calling or emailing you actually, so that we can take a special look at that meeting section together to help guide you through the business meetings that are coming up.
yes, definitely. Emily, did you want to, I guess if there's no questions, did you want to add anything or?
No, you did a great job. You taught me some things that I didn't know or forgot about our website. So thank you.
Yeah,
I think, there's so much information here. I think if you take one thing away, it's just that there's a lot of content, not only for you and your own information, of course, the business meetings, but content for you to push out to your members. So I know that that's really valuable to you, and you have your social media channels and that market. Even if you spend some time in just the industry market data section, there's some interactive data sets there that you can really customize for you and your own, the counties that you serve, and just make it really valuable and relevant to your members. So hopefully this is the starting point of you really digging in. Thank you, Adina. You did such a great job. And I'm going to let Peggy wrap up and tease the next session.
yeah.
Perfect. Adina, thank you. What a great job. The comments in the comments or in the chat are just amazing. Everybody learned something new. And for everybody's information, we will be doing future webinars for AM 101 to drill down to some of these sections. So we'll get Jordan to do one, and Member Legal will have Rick Laisman do one on RAF and impact and LCRC. So we'll be drilling down to these sections in much greater depth down the line, but what a fantastic overview, Adina. I think we all learned something on this one. For our next one, we're going to have Chris DeRosa from NAR give us the inside scoop on M1. So of course, we've all switched over and now we've had some time to take a look at it and see what we don't know, basically. So Chris will be here next Wednesday, 10 a.m. again, for all the basics on using M1, which will be great. And for those of you who don't know, that is the platform that is replacing nerds. So now instead of having the best technology of the 80s, we're kind of up to date. I hope you guys all like it. And Chris will be here to go through it and answer questions next Wednesday. And that's all I got. And we are down to the line. So thank you everyone